Hello and welcome back. In the previous video, we downloaded the VM image of FortiGate Firewall. Now I have the file here. I'm going to install on my VMware workstation. So the file you download, it's a zip file. It contains multiple files. I will show you which ones to use in VMware workstation. They're different when you're using VMware ESXi. You need about 3 files, but for this one, only 1 file is necessary. So if we unzip the file, I'm using 7-zip, and if I extract it to a folder, same name, then here's the extracted folder. You have multiple files here. The one we are after for VMware Workstation is only this. In other platforms, you might have different files. You have to check and read the documentation. So while having this, I need to go and choose actually the location of that file and as a text, so I can actually point to this location. So I have VMware Workstation running here, and if I say File, Open, and I need to open where the location is, so it is a different location, so I need to paste that location. Here we have the multiple files I mentioned, and the one we are after is FortiGate Firewall. And as I said, please read the documentation which files to read. And now I will open that file. I will accept the license agreement. This is a trial version, and let's call it Fortinet or FortiGate -01, our first firewall, and yeah, or whatever name you are you're after. So I'll choose a location in my file system. I will go to that location, and then I'll show you the full installation. Okay, we have Fortinet folder, and I'll create a new folder in there. So I have selected a folder in my machine, and then I will say import in there. The image now gets imported to that location, and it will have the default interfaces. The first one, I want to connect it to my adapter, NAT adapter or VMNet 0, whichever I like. Actually, VMNet 0 is connected to the internet, so I will use that. Then the rest I will edit later. I'm okay with the 2 gig with the defaults. I'm not changing anything for now, so I would say okay. And that's the NIC card I want to get an IP address. So then I will boot the machine, then the image will start loading. It doesn't take long to get the machine up and running. So I will pause the recording while that's happening, and then I will restart when it's done. So the installation completed. It takes me to the login page. By default, it doesn't come with password, but the user is admin. We just press enter, and then it asks you a new password. So I'm going to provide a new password. Okay, now we have a FortiGate VM. It has a new password. We haven't done anything else. I connected it to my Ethernet 0, VMNet 0, which is connected to my broadband, so it should get an IP. And if we want to get what's already there, we can say get system interface, and then it shows you the interfaces. So you can't see actually the interface IP because the console we are using, it shows everything. So, but if you want to go to a specific interface, then you can search for that interface. This is starting from port number 2, port number 3, port 4. So the ones on the top are hidden, and the first one we connected is actually Ethernet or port 1. So we need to type the command to see the interface information of that specific one. So the easier way to see actually the interfaces is to run the command. If you go to the end, if we run the command a diagnose IP address list, diagnose, I left the G, diagnose IP address list. Now you can see the first interface it's picking that IP address 192.168.1.224, and it's from this subnet, and it says it's port number 1. And so that's the IP that we actually configured. What we're going to do is let's log in to that page. And if we check, you don't have HTTPS certificate, so what you need to do is just use the same IP .1.224, and that takes you to the login page. And if you remember, the username didn't change, but we updated the password, and that takes me to the login page. And from the login page, you have the options to register, use an existing license, but in this case we're using FortiGate evaluation license. And if you want to do that, then provide your email address, password, and then click login. It will register. So this is the limitation of what you have. It can only support low encryption operation. You have 1 CPU and 2 gig memory, and then you have maximum of 3 interfaces, firewall policies and routes each. So each one will have its own. And then you don't have FortiGate support. And this is just a practice VM, and if you need more than that, you can talk to the sales team of Fortinet for your case. So that's all. Installation and log into the main page. I will register, and then we will start the policy creations and other configurations. Thank you again for your time, and see you in another video.